RV Gamma, laying up point. Nightfall.
How do you feel now? Niner asked. Atten moved his arms, bent at the elbow in a swimming motion, testing his pectoral muscles.
Nearly good as new. No breathing problems either. No, just a hard smack on the plate.
Fee's disembodied voice spoke up in their helmet comlinks. He was tucked under a bush on the edge of the ridge, keeping watch on the track below.
I'm such a good field medic. Wait till you see me do a tracheotomy.
I'll pass if that's all right with you,
Atten said, easing off his helmet.
Dinner?
What do you prefer? Niner asked. Dry rats, or maybe dry rats?
Let's go with dry rats for a change.
Yes, Atten was definitely feeling better, and not just physically.
Who used to say that then? Huh? The dry rations thing.
Oh, Scarota, our old instructor sergeant. Atten took a bite out of the white cube and washed it down with a gulp of water from his bottle.
He never trained us. Heard a lot about him.
Trained Fee and Diamond, too. Our squads were all in the same battalion.
We had Wayland Vow.
That explains where you get your cheery outlook.
Sergeant Vow taught us the importance of planning for the worst scenario,
Atten said, all loyalty.
And maximizing your tech. Being hard is good. Being hard with superior tech is better.
I'll bet.
I'd heard everyone loved Scarota, though, even if he was a bad-tempered drunk.
Niner had never been drunk, and he didn't even know what alcohol tasted like. He cared about what happened to us. He was one of us, pretty much. Not just there because he couldn't cope with not being in the army anymore, or had to disappear. No, he was a good man. Niner would have given a great deal to have seen Scarota come limping through the trees right then, demanding to know what they were doing lounging around like a bunch of Camino and Nara artists. No idea where he is now, not since we left Camino. Best covert ops and sabotage man ever.
You'd know, of course.
We'll all know soon. I'm relying on what he taught us to get this mission completed. Niner ate the perfectly balanced, sensibly designed, and utterly tasteless cube, and sat silently, still waiting for Darman. They couldn't even trap something and cook it. The smell of roasting meat and the light of the fire would betray their position. With Fee on watch, he could shut his eyes and sleep for a couple of hours. He put his helmet back on, partly to be ready to move fast if they had enemy contact, and partly to keep the temperature up in his suit. It was getting chilly. He allowed himself one comfort that he didn't really need for morale.
You scare me. You just absorb everything I tell you. Don't you ever forget.
No, Sarge, Niner said. He had no idea how long he'd been asleep. He woke with a start at the sound of Fee's voice.
Possible contact, due east, range 40 clicks. Looks like it's centered on Imbroni.
Even through the visor, it wasn't clear exactly what Fee had spotted, but Niner could see it now too. A glow marked the horizon like a false sunrise. It was constant, the gentlest graduation from amber to deep red. It wasn't an explosion. Niner switched between visor modes, main spectrum to infrared to full spectrum, and then back again. The glow was hot too. The infrared long range picked it up.
I reckon that's one big fire coming,
Fee said. They waited, watching. Niner could hear Atten a few meters away, gathering up equipment and assembling it, ready to pull out. With the binocs on full distance, they could see that the fire was being eclipsed in places by billows of smoke. Eventually, Atten joined them, and all three observed the distant blaze in silence.
They're not burning crop stubble at night,
Fee said.
They haven't even finished harvesting that stinking bark stuff yet. They found something.
I know.
Either they found Darman, and they're teaching the locals not to shelter the enemy, Or they haven't found Darman and they're trying to flush him out.
Niner thought it was relatively good news.
But it means he made the landing,
He said.
So we wait here, right up to the last second, and maybe a little longer, just to be sure.
Atten laid the gear down again. He was too professional and disciplined to slam it on the ground, but Niner picked up on the slight sag of his shoulders.
And if he doesn't show up by then?
He asked, with a level tone that suggested he didn't want to show dissent any longer.
Next plan? We take another look at the whole area, from Teklet to Imbroni.
Niner said.
We start from scratch.